The Model Show Spotlight is brought to you by the World of Armor. Communicate, share, and learn with armor modelers worldwide at the World of Armor. If armor modeling is your thing, follow the link in the show notes or at plasticmodelmojo.com and join the team.
All right, Kentucky Dave.
Yeah, we're going to talk about one of my favorite shows.
It's probably your close second, close second favorite show.
Close second.
Only because the duration's not quite as long.
Well, that is part of it, and also, March in Canada.
That is true. Well, that's the tease, folks. We're here to talk about HeritageCon 2026. I think it's HeritageCon 18? 17 or 18?
18, one or the other, yeah.
Sorry, folks, we missed the bookkeeping there. But anyway, definitely 2026. And Plastic Model Mojo's plans are on ice.
Yep.
We're on cruise control, man. Looking forward to this.
Absolutely.
I think our biggest wild card is the Minnesota gang getting snowed in before the show.
Yeah, let's hope that doesn't happen. And also, of course, it's always what's the weather going to be like in Hamilton. Of course, we got a nice, cozy Airbnb. Once we get there, I guess we don't even care.
Till we got to leave, then we're probably gonna.
Yeah, that's true, too.
So
that's true.
It needs to be clear sailing coming in, nothing while we're there, and clear sailing coming out. So,
yeah,
man, HeritageCon is just, it's just a blast, man.
It is. It is a beautiful venue, a great group of guys, unbelievable show with unbelievable models and great vendors. There's nothing to not love.
Well, I'm probably going to sit there with my slack jaw hanging, looking at the Lancaster this year because I've been taking in a lot of information about Operation Gamora, a lot of the nighttime stuff, and just, man.
Yep.
That's just insane.
It is unbelievable.
And to try to fight off what might come at you with a bunch of 303 machine guns.
Yeah, well, not the best choice.
I understand why they flew at night.
Yeah, exactly.
And to learn about window.
Yep.
The precursor to what we call the chaff now.
Yep.
Really, really interesting. Worked great there on the front end, but the Germans got wise and not so much later. But during Operation Gamora, it was pretty much a game changer.
Yes, it was.
Well, Dave, we love HeritageCon, and they keep changing the crew on us.
Yep.
Which is fine. I understand them wanting to spread the wealth, and we got a bunch of new folks. Some of them we've met at HeritageCon, maybe all of them.
Yeah.
Maybe my memory's bad, but definitely some of them. So let's get into that and see what's going on in Hamilton for 2026. Dave, we are once again getting ready to go to one of our favorite events of the year, and we're so fortunate that's one of our favorite events of the year is in the first quarter here at the end of March. We got a fresh team from the Hamilton crowd on here tonight to tell us all about this year's installment of HeritageCon. Gentlemen, how you doing tonight?
Hey, we're doing really well. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Well, won't you guys go around the horn, introduce yourselves, and tell us the capacity you're working with HeritageCon here?
My name is Tim. I am a newly appointed HeritageCon coordinator.
My name is Evan. I will be second in command, helping with the running of the model contest on the day of.
I'm Nicholas, and I'm doing the table setup, and I'm coordinating the volunteers.
All right. Well, we know where this event is held. Why don't one of you tell us the date and the place again, and what folks can expect as far as the venue who may have not been to HeritageCon yet?
Sure. The date is March 29th. The Hamilton Warplane Heritage Museum in Hamilton, Ontario. It's going to start at 9 a.m., run till 5 p.m., and it's going to be a day full of models, airplanes, vendors, and all sorts of shenanigans.
Well, we're really looking forward to it. What is going to be new on the docket for this year versus past shows? You got anything new in the works?
The big thing this year is that the registration has been taken over from the club side and is actually moving to the museum. They recognize the importance of the show to them, both from a revenue standpoint and the fact that it is one of their biggest days just from foot traffic. And they wanted to try and be more proactive with it and try to modernize their approach to how they run the museum and try and maximize the potential of the show. Again, knowing how important it is to them.
Well, how's that going to work versus last year? I know there was, I believe, wasn't it all pre-registration last year?
It's still going to be pre-registration. We've been told that their system will go live on March 1st at 9 a.m. through their website. However, the exact details have yet to be disclosed to us as they are still in the midst of finalizing the system.
Okay, and that's going to involve model registration and the museum admission, yeah.
Yeah, like it's still going to be, the admission is through the museum, of course, and yes, the registration now is through them on their site.
Okay.
And they're expecting it to sell out.
Yeah, if the last 2 years are any indication, heck yeah.
Well, things have always been pretty big. I mean, it's a big place, fortunately. And I know if the weather's decent, it can get a little bigger on the inside if they have to move some things around. But explain, folks, a little bit about the museum and what they can expect to see there.
Of course, they have the one of two flying Lancasters in the world. It's likely going to be indoors. We have C-47 Dakotas usually also in, and the B-25 Mitchell, along with many other flying aircraft that they have in their collection.
The Catalina, they've got the Fairey
Avenger.
Firefly, the Avenger. They got a great selection of aircraft.
Yes, they do.
Sabre, F-104, CF-104s, two of them.
Well, it's a fabulous place to have a show, that's for sure. Dave?
When does the show open?
9 a.m. on March 29th.
Okay, and then when do you all expect to do awards and have the show wrapped at that point?
The judging is going to start at noon sharp. At that time, we will have presentations going on, which you guys know something about.
Yep.
And then while that's going on, we're hoping to have it wrapped up by 3.
Okay.
And then hopefully have all our ducks in a row by 4 o'clock and be presenting by 4 o'clock. Sometimes we get there earlier, sometimes we get there later. It just completely depends on circumstance.
And models will all have to be pre-registered through the website. If somebody shows up, do you have a display table for models that people bring that they did not enter?
We will have a display table for them.
Yeah.
Well, we always know the vendor area is pretty full at HeritageCon. That's always been one of the highlights at that show, like many shows. How's that stacking up for HeritageCon this year?
We have over 140 tables, which again, all of them sold out. So if you guys are familiar with the layout, going to be just about as many vendors as last year and lots of different ones. I wish I had a list, but I don't. But I can think of local hobby shops and like a place like the barrel store, if you guys like your tank gun barrels and things like that, and tracks and all sorts of things. So
if you need something from the vendors, they're going to have it. There's so many and so much to choose from, really.
Well, I don't think folks will be disappointed. We tend to walk out there with our pockets a little lighter and our bags a little heavier.
Yeah, I have never left HeritageCon empty-handed.
I distinctly remember you walking out with a huge stack of books last year.
Yes, I did. I bought a lot of books last year. The prices were incredible.
Even better for you guys with your American money.
That's right.
Well, you mentioned seminars. Let's talk about what's going to be going on during judging and throughout the day, in addition to vendors and the model contest.
So in the morning, we've got Harvey Lowe, and then he's going to be doing a thing on aircraft modulation and weathering. And then around judging time, it's going to be you guys, if you want to talk about that with the accidental wheel of wisdom. Or
Yeah, have been roped in by Duncan and you guys to do a live version of the Wheel of Accidental Wisdom on site during the show. And we haven't quite figured out all the logistics of that, but we think that's going to be a fun thing to do, Dave.
Yep, we'll have to come up with maybe items to give away, some little door prizes or something. We'll make this a game show. This thing will hopefully give everybody in the crowd something to do once they've spent out their wallet in the vendor room and while judging's going on.
Yeah, I think it'd just be great to have you guys in a room just to talk models. That'd be awesome.
Well, we're glad to do it. And I tell you,
we love doing it.
I think Harvey's a good catch too. We had him on once last year and really like talking to him. He does some amazing work.
I'll be in his seminar for sure.
Just those two or anything else?
That's all we got planned for this year. We're keeping it like just to keep things fresh and under control, if you will. Last year was a little crazy. We started with 2, we ended up with 4 presentations. I was involved in that and took up most of my day.
Oh, okay.
So, but it was exciting nonetheless.
Well, I got to tell you guys honestly, HeritageCon has become maybe one of my favorite shows every year. One that's on the do not miss list. One that as soon as January rolls around, I start anticipating HeritageCon.
Yeah, it's kind of like a big show, right? It's the first big one in Canada, and
it's the atmosphere of it. You all, Canadians' reputations are well deserved, unfailingly polite, unfailingly hospitable to your guests. I've just never had anything but great interactions up there. The times in the evening, either the day before the show or after the show, are just really enjoyable times. And Mike and I are huge fans of shows in general, getting modelers together to talk modeling. And I've really enjoyed that up at Hamilton.
Yeah, it's a great time all around, especially for the locals. There's so many, such a local community that come and partake.
Yeah.
And we all really enjoy getting together and doing it.
And I understand you all are going to arrange for the weather to be, say, in 65, 70 degrees Fahrenheit, clear skies, light breezes from the south.
I'll let you in a secret. We cross our fingers every year.
Yeah, I know. With the weather we've had lately, no guarantees, but we'll cross our fingers for you guys.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully we got all the bad stuff out of the way early.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we've not gotten clobbered yet. We've had some cutting wind in the mornings sometimes, but usually the white stuff's been, for the most part, gone the last few every time we've been up there. So I don't know, Dave. Maybe we may be due for a little comeuppance on the weather.
Yeah,
there.
No. The Canadians are too polite to give us bad weather. We're gonna have a good old time, and the weather's gonna cooperate.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great time. You guys are gonna be great.
Gonna love it.
Well, let's talk about the contest format. That's typically one thing we talk about in these spotlights. What kind of system you're using, and kind of at a high level, at least the category dispersion and that sort of thing.
So it's going to be sort of the typical IPMS format. We're going to have different categories in armor, both, Allied, Axis, Modern, and Cold War. Aircraft is going to be, standard World War II, pre-war, Cold War, same sort of split as that. Going to have many different things in the automotive categories. I believe there's also going to be a few extra sort of civilian type of categories to cover more into some of the more niche things beyond just cars, to help cover a little bit more of the spectrum there. And then, of course, ship models. And we're going to have a wide variety of stuff in Gundam, sci-fi, really just cover all of the bases out there as we can.
Yeah, you all had a heck of a turnout in Gundam and sci-fi last year.
Yeah, we've been trying to get a bit closer with our kind of the Gundam crowd. It's big in Toronto and the bigger cities. Find a lot of those modelers come with some really, really cool kits too, awesome builds and stuff like that.
Yeah, we also get a lot of support from one of the other local clubs in Side 6, who not only show up with their members, but also help provide a lot of judging support and entries.
Those guys have been great supporters of the show for a couple years now. Mm-hmm. Fantastic group of people.
So do you all, in addition to the category awards and the best of, do you all have specialty awards in addition? I mean, for particular items or particular subjects?
I believe we have stuff like Best Canadian Subject is usually one that gets handed out every year.
Sure.
Best Ukrainian Subject has been one that has been done for at least the past 5 or 6 years that I've attended. Were there any other big ones, Tim?
Yeah, there's a best fighter aircraft flown by a Canadian pilot, best Ukrainian subject, best Canadian subject, veteran recognition award, People's Choice Award, and the judge's best of show.
Okay.
So quite a few.
All right. Yeah.
Yes.
Now, I know that there's a small cafe on site, a small food vendor. Are you all bringing in food trucks as well, or are you doing anything like that? I know there's some food nearby as far as like local restaurants.
We had talked about bringing in food trucks. I don't think it's ever been fully discussed or confirmed with the museum. That would be if they wanted to, but I'm pretty sure they don't want to infringe on their business for their cafeteria as well, right?
Sure. Yep.
But it's a good idea. Not going to lie, walking out the door and getting tacos, that'd be pretty cool.
Unless they're frozen by the time you got back to the door.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, probably.
Snow-covered tacos.
Well, it sounds like you guys have got your handle on it. It's going to be another great show for you guys, I'm sure. It's always been, a pretty thick crowd at times, but the number of entries is usually really high, and then the vendors have just been outstanding. So I know Dave and I are really looking forward to coming back up there again, and we've kind of made a pilgrimage with some of our friends to come up at least to Detroit a little early and hit some places around there, and then come on in the afternoon on Saturday. So we are really looking forward to it.
Indeed, we are. And guys, do us a favor. When registration goes live, please post that in the dojo so that people will know it. And hopefully you can not only post, but provide a link. And we'll see if we can get the fire marshal to close the place down because there are so many people.
Yeah. We will definitely make sure that we post on the dojo and all over Facebook when the registration is live, so everybody gets the word out. Tell your friends without computers, help them register, give them the website address, take them to the library and log in there and get them registered there. Yeah, just come. We're looking forward to having you all.
Well, we appreciate that. And once you give everybody listening the date and time one more time.
Sure, it's March 29th, Hamilton Warplane Heritage Museum. 9 a.m. doors open till 5 p.m. Registration is going to start March 1st, 9 a.m. Everything's going to be online. There's going to be no registration at the door. Tell your friends.
All right, guys. Well, we're looking forward to it, and we'll see you in a few weeks.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having us to talk on your show.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Thank you for coming, guys.
Well, we know what it's going to be. It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be awesome. It sounds like they've got everything under control. I can't wait till registration opens. I want to get registered. I am hot to trot. I'd get in a car tomorrow if it was tomorrow.
Well, I'll take care of that. But yeah, it's going to be fun. I'm excited about the live version of the Wheel of Excellent Wisdom.
Yes, that's going to be neat.
We got to talk to them a little bit about how we might want to do that, but looking forward to doing that on the fly. I think that'll be fun.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing your Bob Barker imitation.
And who's the other guy? Rod somebody? Roddy?
Drew Carey.
No, that's the new host. I mean, right. When Bob was doing it, who was the announcer? Oh,
the announcer. Oh, gosh, now you're stretching me. I can't remember.
Right, never mind, folks. But, we'll be there. Hopefully that's going to work out, and it's just going to be a lot of fun. So looking forward to hanging with our Canadian friends again. Looking forward to the Airbnb. Hopefully the Minnesota gang can make it, and it's just going to be a grand time. It's just such a great show for no longer than it lasts.
Yep.
Anything else on HeritageCon, Dave?
Nope. Just I'm anxious, man. This next month can't pass fast enough.
Well, don't be careful what you wish for. The whole year will end up that way.
I know. There's truth in that, brother.
All right, man. Well, let's get on out of here and get on to HeritageCon.